So is it unusual for you to play a solo flute concert?
This is a first.
A first?
Yeah. I was actually only talking about it with one of my students today, and I met her for lunch, and we were chatting, and I've done little kind of stints, maybe up to an hour of a gig with an accompanist before, but to actually sit down and be fully exposed and do a gig on my own, it is a first.
Are you nervous?
I wouldn't say nervous. I'm excited because, I mean, my biggest problem is actually deciding what to play. I mean, I love not deciding what we play, like having somebody else to maybe give you a few pointers and say, you know, we'll do X, Y, and Z, and I can add my little tuppence worth to it. But in terms of actually shaping a program, I don't know how it's going to work out. I'm thinking
So
I won't actually put a shape to it. I might just
I was wondering
feel
whether
it.
you're going to completely fly blind, or are you going to have a set list?
No, if the set list that I have in my bag is produced, it's 4 pages of about 80 sets of tunes that I could possibly and would love to get to play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be good. I'm looking on it actually because, as I say, I set out to just use it as a way of doing some teaching, which I really love. I love teaching, and I love meeting some students that I've been kind of working with over the course of the last 10 years or so here, and seeing how they've kind of progressed and how their passion for the music has grown, and that really gives me a big kind of boost. So then when it kind of developed into maybe doing a couple of concerts, I thought, right, this could be, people mightn't like this, just flute on its own. It's a kind of a pretty select crowd that would sit through an hour or an hour and a half of flute. But then I thought, right, this could be an opportunity for me to actually work on putting together a set of, a bank of tunes that would work. And I mean, there's enough variety in the tunes themselves. I mean, I've no fear of the material. I mean, Irish music and the tunes are enormously kind of strong, and it's the variety of instruments. It's deciding what to play, whether I play whistles, whether I play concert flute, whether I play alto flute, that'll be another kind of, what will it be next?
You have a flute on your lap right now. How about a flute tune?
Yeah, I'll go for something here. We just listened to a track there that kind of incorporated a slip jig, 2 slip jigs, and a tune from Romania, but it kind of is in the slip jig kind of rhythm. So I'll try a couple of reels this time, just to keep it different. This will develop as the night goes on. I think you'll find at the gig. I'm going to touch a lot of the time on tunes and musicians that would have encouraged me or influenced me when I was growing up. So, you know, I don't intend to play any Lúnasa sets, and I don't really intend to play any teetotaler sets. It's like, I'd like to just pay homage in some respects to the people that got me interested in the music. So this set of tunes would fit that remit insofar as the first tune comes from a musician named Chris Droney, a concertina player from North Clare. And he's still very fit and healthy man. He's in his 80s, playing great music still. This is a tune that he kind of put out there. It's called The Fox on the Prowl. Then there's a tune after that I learned from a musician who I used to travel to listen to when I was living in England, Peter Carberry. You might be familiar with his daughter Angelina, plays banjo. She's toured the States.
Oh,
yeah. And this is a tune of his that he calls the Sligo Reel. And then the last one is it's a tune called the Bal Analysis. And that goes back to my Moving Cloud days. So.
Kevin Crawford live on Folk and Beyond here on WTJU, and Kevin Crawford's playing a concert at Seaville Coffee at 7 p.m. this evening.
I think it is 7, yeah.
7 p.m. And in between now and then, Kevin will also be doing some flute and whistle workshop at the Blue Ridge Irish Music School.
Yeah, they're great to have kind of taken me on board to do this. Laurie's really wonderful. And it's lovely that the whole relationship, I suppose, with me and music and Charlottesville, I mean, it's really great. For this to be the first gig of my trip to the States, it's like almost like coming home and just very comfortable here. And looking forward to seeing a lot of the kind of people that we've made relationships with over the years, and it's just really great. I mean, I do go back. It was interesting when Peter put the picture up of Lúnasa in the Prism on Facebook yesterday. Gosh, it's so long ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that length of time. I remember all of those nights really vividly, you know.
Yeah.
Steve and Fred and all the crew there, and we used to just go in and, I mean, hang out in the little back room, and it was great. And the gig itself was always special. Some of the best live recordings that Lúnasa ever kind of had or have been captured have been from the Prism, because they used to record all the gigs.
All right. Well, that is a lead-in to talking about the new Lúnasa CD.
Oh, yeah.
With the RTE Orchestra.
Yeah.
Tell us how that came about.
It was literally landed on our laps. We didn't go looking for it, although in terms of something coming along at the right time, it was really, really valuable, because we had exhausted in our own minds. There wasn't really a need for another Lúnasa album in terms of sticking to the same tried and tested formula of us writing a few tunes, you know, doing what we do to another bunch of tunes. So we'd been juggling various options around. The one that was about to have been with the green light, kind of the button pressed for that, was us to do a recording with a bunch of singers.
Oh, okay.
With us having recorded all instrumental albums up to date. Up to now, it was like that was the next step. We'll bring on board a lot of singers that we have worked with but never really recorded with.
Karen Casey?
Karen Casey.
Yep.
Karen was in there. Natalie Merchant was in there. Christy Moore, Luca Bloom, like loads of people that we have worked with and never, or haven't really recorded that much with them. We've played on their albums and stuff like that, but we've never really brought it to the Lúnasa kind of fans. So that was the plan. But we didn't really know how to implement it, or was it going to be practical, or, you know, how do you get all of these singers and their logistical kind of stuff to fall into place. So RTE, the Broadcasting Network of Ireland, were doing a bunch of collaborations with mainly singer-songwriters, not just in Ireland, from all over the globe. And what they were doing was they were getting different arrangers to come on board, put together a bunch of orchestrations based on the artist's back catalogue. And they offered us the opportunity to work with them as well. We were really sceptical. We were very worried that we possibly would have been paired with somebody that didn't understand our music and might kind of make it a bit cheesy or a bit kind of Hollywood or something like that, you know. But we were really lucky that Niall Vallely was chosen. So that's Cillian, our piper's brother.
Yeah.
So he understands our music. He understands the classical genre as well. He went to college and he's done a lot of orchestrations for Karen Casey, his wife, and various singers as well. So Niall got to work on a lot of the pieces. He chopped them up, he spliced them up, he put different tunes with different tunes and came up with new combinations for us. There's a few tried and tested classics in there as well, Last Pint and the Morning Nightcap sets. And then we went in and we did a couple of gigs. And then on the back of that, the offer was given to us to record. So we went into the studio for a day, literally, and
recorded. It's a studio recording.
Yeah, I mean, it's a studio recording, but it's because it was only a day. Like an RTE kind of salaried orchestra their day isn't like our day.
Right.
Their day is like 9 until 11, and then there's a coffee break for half an hour, then it's 11:30 till 12, and then there's lunch for 2 hours, and then it's back in, and the same thing happens again. So it's like you've got about 5 or 5.5 hours to do stuff. So we literally ran everything once, rehearsed it, and then ran it and recorded it. So it is live, but we did have the option to do a bit of mixing after. Right. Which was great, because there had been a concert in the National Concert Hall in Dublin that was recorded for the radio.
Well, I saw a video.
Yeah,
of that.
and the actual performance itself was really good. There was a lovely energy of it, but it was recorded to stereo, which meant it was what it was.
Yeah,
and at times the balance wasn't quite right between the dynamic between the orchestra and Lúnasa. Sometimes they came in a little too heavy, or we kind of overpowered them in parts as well, some of the more subtle parts. So it was lovely to be able to have it recorded and then just kind of tweak the dynamics a little bit. But it was a beautiful project. I really didn't look, I wasn't excited about it until we actually did a gig, and when you feel that wall of sound behind you, it's incredible.
Yeah.
You know, it really, really is. And it was difficult for us to go back, because we did the 2 gigs in the concert hall, and we went into the studio. So there was like a week of working with the orchestra. And it was really strange going out then, the 5 of us onto the stage. We felt very small, really small. I wondered, gosh, could we afford to bring this crew with us everywhere? But a lot of stuff has come on the back of it. We've done a couple of other gigs since with them. And we're going to roll it out in Canada next year, and possibly into the US as well. Then do a bunch of gigs with the orchestra. You know, we won't bring the RT orchestra. We'll work with orchestras here, and bring the arrangements, and hopefully bring the same conductor, David Brophy, who really was crucial to the thing working as well. But it was great, and you know, it broke down a lot of misconceptions and you know, I was totally ignorant as to the classical world and the orchestras, and you know, and I just came away thinking, my God, this is brilliant.
Well, I'm going to dig out the CD and play some, because when it first came out, I played it on my show, and I'll play some on my show.
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Pete. No, I'd be interested to get your spin on it, to be honest. Yeah, I just think overall it captured the energy of the band, which is very difficult when you've got 46 other people kind of in tow. So, you know, it was there's still a good kind of insight into the sound of Lúnasa behind it.
If you just tuned in, you're listening to Kevin Crawford in conversation here on Folk and Beyond. And Kevin Crawford's playing at the Seaville Coffee this evening at 7 o'clock. And how about another tune?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'll go with a couple of tunes on the whistle this time. I'll go again with something I don't usually play, which is kind of scary, but that's what this kind of trip is about. I'll try 3 tunes here. A jig, a beautiful old jig again. Like I said earlier, I'm going back to kind of people and memories of tunes that were passed on. This tune is called Paddy Mcmahon's, and it's really, I've never heard anybody else play it, only Paddy Mcmahon, who came from Galway but lived in Manchester. Really nice tune. Then there's a tune called The Money Musk after that, which is usually played as a fling, kind of nice mid-tempo kind of tune, but I play it as a reel. And if time allows, I'll go into another tune after that called the Dowry Reel.
Kevin Crawford live on the... Is that a tin whistle or is that a wooden whistle?
It's a wooden whistle.
It looks like a wooden whistle.
But it is, I would still call it a tin whistle, funny enough, isn't it? It's
Right.
it's a lovely instrument, actually. It's made by the same guy that makes my flutes, an Australian maker, Michael Grinter. And I mean, I play a lot of tin whistles, but there's something, possibly because I'm a flute player, I love the woodiness, the kind of the timbre of a wooden whistle.
Yeah.
And it's a very wide windway that's on it, which allows me to play it like a flute. You can really blow it. You have to really blow it. You can't be little soft blown like you could some of the older generation whistles, for instance, where you can be delicate. It's a pretty beefy instrument to actually play, yeah, which is nice.